introduce Juli, a secondary education history major from Kendall Park, New Jersey. Her many accomplishments at Rider include being a community assistant, a tour guide, a history content tutor, a freshman seminar peer mentor, an orientation leader, and a two-time Andrew J. Rider Scholar, an honor which you should all aspire to. The Andrew J. Rider Scholars are named every year and represent the students with the highest grade point average in the top 4 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 sophomores in each of our 6 schools and colleges. Juli?
Thank you, Dr. Ferdine, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. President Delomo, Dr. Ferdine, Dr. Fennenberg, faculty, staff, and most importantly, students. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. To all the new Rider students in the room, congratulations on beginning this new chapter in your life. My name is Juliana Ezzo, but many of you already know me from orientation, so you know I prefer to be called Juli. I'm a senior, double major in secondary education and history with a concentration in English as a second language / bilingual education. And I'm proud to say that I am, among other things, a 2-time Andrew J. Rider Scholar for the College of Education and Human Services. Now that I've introduced myself, I can explain the struggle that was putting this speech together. My goal here is to be neither preachy nor hokey. I did, though, want to give you advice that you may rely on in your time here. Throughout this process, I kept thinking, I want them to know that they should take chances and they can make mistakes. My brain kept repeating with enthusiasm the phrases, take chances and make mistakes. And for some reason, those phrases, said in that almost over-enthusiastic way, sounded familiar. So I went to Google, and that's where I learned why. As it turns out, the complete phrase is take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. And it is said by one of the wackiest TV teachers ever to grace our television screens, Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. Now, Miss Frizzle often says this before she's about to bring her students on some crazy adventure, but I think that this can apply to your college adventure, upon which you are about to embark. Now, all 3 of these things, taking chances, making mistakes, and getting messy, look different depending on your major and the professors you have. As an education major, I take chances every time I write a lesson plan. I make mistakes in the field, and then I learn from them. And boy, depending on the lesson my co-op and I have planned, I can get messy, covered in markers, chalk, and glue. I am not, though, an expert in all academic programs here at Rider. So I challenge you to figure out how you can take chances, make mistakes, and get messy in your own ways. Science majors, perhaps you'll take a chance with the help of a professor as you participate in an independent research project. Business majors, you might make mistakes as you try to understand confidence intervals in stats class, but that's fine. You will understand it if you are proactive and seek assistance. And fine and performing arts majors, you're going to get messy in some capacity. Whether you're designing sets or sweating in your dance classes, you too are heeding Miss Frizzle's call by diving right in. New students, I encourage you to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy, not just in academics, but in everything that you do. In case you haven't heard yet, college is so much more than academics. Of course, classes should be your first priority, but some of your best experiences will come from activities that take place outside of the classroom. Some of the best, most life-changing opportunities I have had on this campus are because I took chances and applied for specific positions. There was no guarantee I would become a community assistant or a tour guide or an orientation leader, so simply applying involved taking a chance. All 3 of those interview processes were nerve-wracking, multi-day-long affairs, but each position has brought me incredible experiences and lifelong friends that I will cherish long after I graduate Rider in the spring. I have also made mistakes in my time in all of these positions, and I still do. I have been successful in these positions because I have grown from mistakes, not because I came into these positions being perfect. In fact, the first time I went out for the orientation position, I didn't get it. I made mistakes in that first round of interviews, but I learned from them. And the feedback I received after my failed attempt helped me not only to become an orientation leader later in my college career, but also helped me improve myself for other important interviews, like those for the CA and tour guide positions. And without a doubt, I've gotten pretty messy in my time here. I've been covered in paint and paper scraps after making interactive bulletin boards. I have been rained on while giving tours. And those of you who attended orientation know that it was hot, so us OLs sweat a lot. But it wasn't in just these 3 core activities that I took chances, made mistakes, and got messy. I took a chance when I went out for the club softball team my freshman year, and playing on the tournament squad provided me with 2 years of fun. I made mistakes as a history content tutor. I'd help a student review material one way, only to have to scrap that idea partway through the session because it wasn't working. And my freshman year, as a participant in Emerging Leaders, I definitely got messy in both our baking competition, which my team won, and our cardboard canoe race, which my team lost miserably. New students, I encourage you to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy in everything you do here at Rider. And as you begin to settle in here and become more comfortable in our community, your interests, your major, and quite possibly your goals for the future may change. This is a totally fine and normal part of the college experience. Just continue to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy, and things will fall into place. And as things are falling into place, you might make some pretty amazing memories along the way. I went to a conference a few years ago, and one of the keynote speakers talked about applesauce moments. Now, most of you are probably wondering what applesauce moments are, so I will explain them to you the same way that they were explained to me. Applesauce moments are special memories. They are memories that are so special that when you are old and unable to eat more than applesauce, you will tell your grandkids when they ask about your life. Now, before you judge me too hard for making you think about yourself as an old person with no teeth, I want you to consider this image I just painted for you. If you, somehow, could go into the future right now, what stories would you share with these grandchildren? Perhaps it would be a memory with a family member that these grandchildren will never meet. Or maybe it's something special that happened at your high school or your community college which set the groundwork for this next chapter in your life. Or, and this is quite possible, you feel like there hasn't been something that extraordinary yet. This is not to say that you don't have cool memories. We all have incredible, ever-changing lives that have brought us to this moment. But perhaps you feel like you have yet to experience something that truly encapsulates you in all of your wonderful uniqueness. I'm here to tell you, whether or not you think you have some applesauce moments ready right now, you are in the right place to make some memories that will turn into these moments. Some of these moments will happen organically. For example, one of my most recalled applesauce moments from Rider, the time that a classmate and I had a duel using paper airplanes and both of us missed, happened in an introductory history seminar that all freshman history majors are required to take. But other moments, in fact, most of my other Rider-related applesauce moments, came from experiences that took place outside of class. They came from joining clubs, taking on leadership positions, and putting myself out there, which, as you've hopefully noticed by now, is how I have taken chances, made mistakes, and gotten messy in my time here. Because of the fantastic community we have on this campus, you are bound to find yourself in many applesauce moment-worthy events, whether or not you choose to put yourself out there and try something new. However, I can assure you that by taking chances, making mistakes, and getting a little bit messy, you will have many more applesauce moments than those who decide to sit idly and let their time at Rider go by. New students, while I said I did not want to be too hokey, I do have to say, it feels like just yesterday, I was a first-year student sitting in this audience. And while individual weeks here may seem like they go on forever as you juggle classes, jobs, and activities, I can assure you that you will look back on your time here and wonder how it flew by so quickly. And with all of that in mind, I have a promise to make to you all. New students, I promise, even in my last year here, to keep taking chances, making mistakes, and getting messy. And I suggest that you, no matter how many years you get to spend here, do the same. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful fall semester.